Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Today, we're going to be discussing New Year's resolutions at work. Since it is January and it's that time of the year when we all decide that we're going to be better people this year, or start to exercise, or read more books, or all of those things, not yell at your kids, all those things that you say you're not going to do, or you're going to resolve not to do this year. I thought we would talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions that you can make to improve your work life and to reach your goals in your career and at work. So we're going to start off with just a little funny about what most people do. That first, a very common resolution is to lose weight. And this guy just decided instead of losing weight, he's just going to buy a bigger basket. So I thought that was cute. Okay. We're gonna watch a little video. This was done by CNN, and they're talking about some of the most common New Year's resolutions and how often people stick to them and how often they don't.
New Year's comes with holiday cheer and plenty of resolutions to do better next year. Yes, friends, that marks my one and only holiday rhyme for you this season. But we do have some new insights for you into why some people stick to their resolutions and some do not. CNN's Harry Anton joins me now with the numbers. Harry, we've got 1 week to get ready. How many people are going to make New Year's resolutions?
Well, this is what I find so interesting, is if you ask them now, just before the new year, are you going to make a resolution? They say 43% say yes on average since 2015. But look here, say they actually made one after the new year, when all of a sudden they realize, oh, wait a minute, I might actually have to keep to it. Only 29% say yes. So about, 4 in 10 right now we're going to say yes, but once we hit the new year, it's only going to be about 3 in 10.
That tracks with kind of my mentality, I will say. So I am not speaking for myself here, but how well do people actually stick to New Year's resolutions? I find this fascinating.
Yeah, look, if you ask them after the year is done, okay, have you actually stuck to your New Year's resolution? Look at this. 68% say yes, at least partially. But of course, that's only among the ones who make one and say they made one. So it's that 68% of that, say, 28 or 29% who actually said that they made one after the new year. So really what we're looking at is around 20% of folks who actually make a New Year's resolution and say they keep to it in the entire population. So maybe you're one of those who right now is saying, you know what, I'll make one. But then, after the new year, you actually decide, yes, I am going to try and do it. And of that proportion, only about 68% actually are able to keep it, at least partially.
Are there trends here? Are any resolutions most popular?
Yeah, there are a few. Not necessarily the ones I would do, but
you read my mind.
Right, exactly. Exercise more. I don't think that that's necessarily in my future. Eat healthier. I've actually been doing that half decently. Save more money. I got to admit that's something I do fairly well. Spend more time with family. Maybe. Be a better person. Hey, that's something all of us can do. Get a new job. I got good news. I like my job. And quit smoking. My mother is a pediatrician, and there were 2 things she made me promise to do in my life. Always wear a seatbelt in the car and never smoke. And I do both of those.
Yet again, I speak for everyone out there to say, Harry, this segment is not about you, but we can continue. I am scared to ask, but what is actually your resolution?
I have a few New Year's resolutions. Number 1, I want to actually exercise. I want to be less passive. I know I come across perhaps aggressive on the air, but in real life, I'm afraid of basically speaking my mind sometimes. And of course, most important, I want to pet even more dogs, Shih Tzus and Lhasa Apsos. I love them.
Do not listen. The exercise is not even in the realm of possibility for you if you guys know him. I'm going to give you what your resolution is going to be. It's going to be buy new shoes to wear at work. If you see Harry's shoes, the loafers he wears at work, you will know what I'm saying. Regardless, happy holidays, friend.
Thank you. You too.
New Year's comes with New Year's comes.
You're muted, Maria.
Thank you. What about those resolutions? Are they the ones that you most likely hear? Are those the ones you set for yourself? Be healthier, exercise more.
Exercise more. Yep.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, those are the ones that we start with. But we don't always think about being healthier at work, right? We don't think always about what are some things that we can do, even though we're trying to be healthier. How does that look? What does that look like in the workplace? So here's some things we can do. So you can pack your lunch instead of going out to lunch where you know the portions are going to be big, or you know that you're going to be tempted when you get to the deli and you're going to want to get that big giant sandwich or whatever it might be with lots of cheese. Pack your lunch so you're not as tempted by everything. Number 2 is take the stairs. If you have stairs at work, you can go up and down, do some exercise. We were talking earlier about how we like to take walks around here when we can at our lunch hour, but it has been so cold lately that it's just freezing and you don't want to go outside and the air hurts our face. So take the stairs, walk up and down the stairs whenever you can. Also, there's a coworker here in our building who we have a large empty kind of conference room here. And I see her in there every day, just walking back and forth, getting her steps in on her breaks. So
Yep.
however you can get those extra steps in. Get up and stretch every hour. Try to get up and move your legs. I read it. I wanted to pull up the statistic, but I did see something recently that said something to the effect of for every hour that you sit at your desk not moving, you take 1 minute off of your life or something like that. So if that's true, we definitely want to get up and stretch as much as you can, or stand up while you work. A lot of people now have standing desks. I noticed a few people in our office have standing desks so that you don't have to sit while you work. Number 5, drink more water. Make sure you're drinking you're supposed to drink at least, I believe, 64 ounces, 8 glasses a day. It's not easy for some people. So does anybody have trouble getting that much water in?
I do.
You do?
I only ever get to about half, and then I beat myself up because I didn't do the rest.
Yeah, it's hard. I have
me too.
we have our little cups here that we're supposed to fill. What are some tricks? Does anyone have any tricks for maybe helping you to get the water, to drink the water?
I don't know. I'd really be interested in tricks because I have a difficult time just getting this. I think this is a liter down. I have a really hard time. I would love to hear some tricks to being able to drink.
Sometimes if we add some flavors to the water, it's help a little bit.
Yep.
A lemon, mint, something like that, ginger,
Yep.
any flavors.
That's a great idea to put some lemon or some berries. I like to put a couple of, when I have mint in the summer, when I grow mint, I like to put a couple of mint leaves in my water, mint and cucumber. So that's a great idea to put a little bit of flavor. You can also buy even just flavored sugar-free drops that you can put into your water and you're still getting your water in. And then take sanity breaks. What would a sanity break look like during the workday? What are some things you can do to kind of get your mind off of work for a minute and take a little bit of a break, especially when you're having a stressful day?
It would look like me going out of my office into my coworker's office and just talking about non-work related things, which I might do every day.
Right.
Lisa, I was thinking the same thing. For me, a sanity break is connecting with another human being about something other than work.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. How about maybe if you have a few minutes reading a short passage from a book or a poem, listening to a little music. I have an app on my phone. It's actually a Peloton app, and there are many 1 minute to 5 minute meditations that you can do, where it's kind of a breathing exercise that they walk you through. And you can kind of do that, especially if you have earbuds. If you use earphones or earbuds, you can do that. Just little ways to get your mind off of your work and off of the stress involved with your work. So sounds like everybody has some good ideas on how to do that, which is great. Okay, learn a new skill. One way to advance your career or make yourself feel better, advance your own self-esteem, is to learn a new skill. So one of the most common ones is learning a language. Now, learning a language isn't always easy, especially if you don't have people to practice with, but there are apps. Has anyone ever used a language app or a language program?
Yes.
Yes.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of the common ones are Duolingo, right?
That's the one I used.
Rosetta Stone, I think. Somebody said they used Duolingo.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did that one. It's an app and it's like games that you
Hmm.
can play to try to learn the other language.
Yep. So that's a good one to use. If you have someone in your office that speaks another language, you might be able to, during one of your sanity breaks, work with that person and just ask them to tell you um, some common phrases. We have a coworker here who has a good friend who speaks another language. She gets to practice with him a lot. So whoever you can practice with. Computer skills. You can never go wrong learning new computer skills. If you can learn a new program, if you can learn a new application, even a social media platform, always a way to improve your skills and make you more marketable. And then personal skills like motivation, organization, time management. There are lots and lots of systems out there to help you with things like that. I think I've talked before about Stephen Covey. He he wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he also has a time management system. I'm currently there's a few out there. I'm using a time management system from the Law of Attraction, which helps you to kind of organize your goals. And I do my best to stick to that. But there's a lot of different systems out there. Read one career-related or motivational book. How many people have read a nonfiction, self-improvement, self-help, motivational book lately? Do you have any recommendations? Robin? Do you have the name of one? You're muted, I
You're
think.
muted.
Earlier this year, or actually would have been last year then, you had recommended a book on emotional intelligence, and I couldn't find that exact one, but I read a different one, and that was really, really, really useful, really informative. And I've read several informational, motivational types of books last year. I typically like to read fictional stories and novels because it puts me in a whole different time and place and different world.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm always reading one of those. But this past year, I've also read quite a few of learning books, I'll say.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to read. I actually one of the more recent books I read, which isn't a recently written book, but it's by Rachel Hollis, and it's called "Girl Wash Your Face." I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's basically she's created a whole kind of lifestyle brand. She came from very humble beginnings and kind of built an empire based on lifestyle and relating to kind of women in her same situation. But one of the tips in her book was that she gets up very early in the morning, and she said she reads in the morning. She reads self-improvement nonfiction books, and at night before she goes to bed, she reads fiction. So she usually has 2 books going at the same time, and
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good system to
Yeah.
do that. Okay. Whoops.
I've actually started to do something that reminds me of on my walks, Maria,
Yeah.
where I listen to a news podcast
Mm-hmm.
first. And then after, when that completes, I listen to some sort of self-help or motivational kind of fun, how to,
Right.
be 10% happier, one of those.
That's a good thing to do,
Fun
like just to
things.
kind of keep a little bit of variation. So
Yeah.
I haven't been good about reading at all, but I have watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to become a minimalist, which will never happen, but I still really like the concept of trying to get things more under control and less clutter and less gathering and things like that. So I've done a bunch of that, but I have a lot of good books that I should be reading that would be good self-help books. I just don't get to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. You start to collect them, and then that becomes a whole nother kind of clutter, right?
Mhm.
So speaking of clutter, number 4 on our list is to clean out your physical and digital file cabinets at work. So paper that you have, that you've had since, the year 2000, things that you've had for more than a few years that you're no longer really using, that's become outdated. Here in the work we do, we used to print out a lot of handouts to use with our customers, and some of the handouts, when you look back at them now, they're from at least 5 or 6 years ago. We recently brought someone on new to our team, and with her fresh eyes, she said, you know what, some of these articles are a little outdated. It's good sometimes to have somebody give you that feedback. So clear out your old articles. I'm sure the minimalists would agree that the less clutter you have in your files in your computer and your files in your drawers, it opens up that extra space for you to think and to do other things. Okay. Update your resume. Something to do at least once a year is update your resume. Make sure you're including any new skills that you learned, not just new jobs, but skills that you learned, classes that you took through work. If you had to do professional development, that's something that you could incorporate into your resume. Any new tasks that you had to take on, volunteer work, things like that. Make sure you're keeping that resume up to date. You never know when that next opportunity is going to come, and you want to be prepared. Here, the work that we do here is preparing people for work, so we are constantly updating people's resumes. But sometimes, if what they say about the shoemaker and his children are the last ones to have shoes, right? So if you're working with people, even if it's your job to write resumes, sometimes you're the last one to keep your resume updated, and it's always a good idea to do that. Keeping in line with that is to review and improve your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is a system that many people use to get jobs. It's a networking social media platform. It's a professional. It's for professionals and for people working in all different kinds of professions. Make sure that you have that up to date, just as you would your resume. These two things can really go hand in hand. Make sure you also have an up-to-date profile picture of yourself, something that is professional and flattering, and that follows the LinkedIn suggestions for what a good profile picture looks like. And your background should be updated as well. Okay, so create at least one new professional networking connection per month. Sometimes this is easier said than done. What are some places that you have looked to make connections with people, either in your industry or in an industry you'd like to get involved with, or an industry that you do business with? What are some good places, or what techniques have you used in the past? Does anyone have anything?
Social
I
media.
I had made a connection. Sorry, Raul, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had made a connection with someone in the municipal building in my town when I volunteered there right after the storm. And now she had mentioned being interested in like financial literacy and that type of thing, and offering those kind of classes. So anytime I learn of something through our work that pertains to that, I try to reach out to her to share that with her to kind of keep that connection going. And that was something I really wasn't doing before.
Great. That's perfect. Anyone else have anything?
Was Rawa going to say
No,
something?
I said about the social media. This is the most
Yeah.
important thing recently. Not
Mhm.
recently, for a long time.
Right,
So,
absolutely. Social media is a great place to network with people. Obviously, LinkedIn is your professional networking spot, but you can use Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, any of those places to make connections, and really just strike up a conversation, a compliment, a suggestion, things like that.
Yeah.
I used to, a long time ago in another life, I used to be involved in one of those at-home party type of things where I sold home decor. And I used to have a bag that had a clear pocket, and we would put our catalog in this tote bag that I would take to ShopRite. And if I was in line in ShopRite and I started to say to the next person, like, oh, I always pick the worst line. Don't I? Don't you feel like you always pick the line that moves the slowest? And I would start up a little conversation, and a lot of times they would notice my bag and say, "What is that?" And I would say, "Oh, this is a catalog. I sell this product. Do you want one?" And I'd give them a free catalog and talk to them about what they liked. And once in a while, I would get a party out of it. So, just talking to people is a
Yeah.
great way to make those connections.
Maria, I'm thinking about another place. I haven't capitalized on it whatsoever, but when I have participated on other webinars, especially those that I've participated on that carry over for several sessions,
Mm-hmm.
I have not capitalized on that opportunity to make those connections with other people. And it's a reminder that that's really a missed opportunity.
That is a good opportunity. Sending out an email to, if there's a mailing list when the minutes come out, just saying, want to know how much I appreciated the webinar, making connection. I've had a few people reach out to me from things I've done on webinars and presentations. So that is a very good idea, Robin. I like that. Okay, number 8, sign up for a relevant blog. So if you're the kind of person who is interested in looking for a new job or connecting with other people in the industry or getting good advice, find a relevant blog. I like the Muse. I think it's a great blog. It has lots and lots of great information about keeping your resume updated, your interviewing skills, where the jobs are, the best work from home jobs, the best part-time jobs, so much good information on there. Top Resume, really geared toward writing a good resume and cover letter. It's an excellent blog, and they will send you emails, so you don't even have to go looking for them. Once you sign up for a blog, you're getting notifications right to your inbox. And Adam Grant has a great blog. He talks about work-life balance and about how to be a good leader at work and how to be a good worker at work and how to really hone your skills. And he's a psychologist out of Harvard. So he's really, really good. I suggest his blog. Find a work mentor, someone at work who can either guide you to the next step, someone above you, or maybe someone on your level. And it doesn't even have to be anybody from your own company. It might be somebody from an agency that you work with or a partner company. Finding someone who inspires you and maybe gives you a little bit of a roadmap to be a better worker, a better employee, better professional, have a better work-life balance, any of those things. I was lucky enough out of college to have an excellent work mentor. She hired me. She had a great attitude. These people that are good work mentors usually are very interested in helping other people. They're interested in giving other people a hand up. So look for someone like that really wants to help others. Okay, so send a thank you note to somebody once per month. So, and it doesn't have to be work. It can be a personal or a family member, coworkers. I got a lovely thank you note today in my email, which was very nice, a nice little note. How does it make you feel when you get a note of thanks or a note of appreciation from someone? What kind of feelings do you get from that?
Oh, really good feelings. And it makes you, especially when you get frustrated with things or you're not sure that you're making a difference, that it reminds you that you are. I had a similar situation. I was looking up somebody that I was trying to reach out to, and in trying to find the person, came across an email that I had completely forgotten that I got, thanking me for the help that I had given and that I had made a change for them. And that just really carries you a long way.
Yeah.
And I think it feels good when you're writing a note of thanks and appreciation and receiving. It feels good from both vantage points. Walking into school this morning to my desk, having been away for, I think, 3 weeks between the holidays and vacation and then COVID. I'd been away since before Christmas. And I walk in and my desk is covered with little tokens and gifts from my coworkers, and it was wonderful. I just loved that. Loved the feeling. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
It makes you feel seen, right? It makes you feel recognized and appreciated.
Really wonderful.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes you don't know for years how much you mean to someone. You know, so if when you take the time to let someone know, it really makes, as you said, Robin, it makes you feel good as the person sending the note, and it makes the person feel good who received the note. Okay, get one professional certification. Sometimes you have to pay for these yourself, right? So maybe a little money out of your pocket, but it's an investment in yourself. Any kind of certification that is going to improve your employability or your ability maybe to make a better salary is a good choice. So marketing, IT, very huge right now. Human resources, project management, any of those types of certifications. And many of them right now, I mean, if anything good came out of COVID, it was the fact that you can do so many things right now out of your home, and you don't have to worry, especially if you have children, about childcare or leaving the house at night if you're a caregiver for someone else. So this is a great time to take advantage of those online certifications. Volunteer. Nothing makes you feel better than volunteering and helping other people. And hearing people say, you know, because of you, I was able to, you know, accomplish something or get something. I have a cute little video here about someone, kind of a reluctant volunteer, that I want to share with you.
Love that.
Yeah, me too.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was very cute.
Marie, you're muted.
That darn mute button, I got to use it. I really love the message there. I thought it was really good. You know, he once, well, obviously, as you saw, once he started to volunteer, even though it wasn't his choice, he really he knew it made him feel good and he did it more. So we all have to remember that.
Right. The great message was, it isn't like that you should. The message is, look how much he got out of doing for others. Like, so that's a great way to
Right.
get it out there.
Absolutely. Okay. Only a few left here. Number 13, clean out your email box. Just goes along with your digital filing cabinet. Some of us have emails from 10 years ago. Sometimes I do have a couple. Honestly, I just came across one from 2006, a recipe someone sent me. So it's 15 years ago, 16 now, right? Once in a while, I do save some old ones, but for the most part, it's just a lot of clutter. So clean out your email boxes and you'll feel a little bit freer for not having to look at all of that. I don't know why I don't want to, maybe, there we go. Okay. Join a professional organization. Anybody here belong to any professional organizations where they have events that you can go to? No, it's kind of hard. I think it's harder to find local events, but there are a few resources I found. Meetup.com. You put in what your interests are and it will give you a list of organizations. Directoryofassociations.com. I don't think there's any spaces in there, but that's another place where you can find organizations that and associations with similar professional interests to you. And 10times.com is another good website for finding local events where you might be able to network and or find a professional organization to join. So those are all good directories and places to start looking. And the last one is to measure your work-life balance. We talk a lot about this. We talk about this almost every week. You have to have a balance between work and not. I just got off the phone. My best friend has a very, very stressful job. She's a financial manager. She's been working until 11 o'clock every night. And she's extremely stressed out. And you can't always find those opportunities, but no one can sustain. I personally don't think anyone can sustain that without it starting to harm your physical or mental health. So find a way to keep your balance between your work life and your personal life. So plan when you have a day off, and I'm notorious for taking a day off and just kind of squandering it. Try to plan something to do that gets you out of even if it's a ride down to the shore just to see the water for a little while, or to a local lake or a park. Plan an event. Cultivate some hobbies outside of work. I just bought a Cricut. I don't know if anybody knows what a Cricut is. It's kind of a machine where you can make things in arts and crafts. It's been sitting in the box now for 2 months. But my plan is to start to use it and to make gifts and little items for my friends and family and coworkers. Spend quality time with your family. Try to stick to regular work hours as much as you can. We all have to work, we call it casual overtime once in a while, but try to stick to regular hours. When you get home, unplug. Don't go from one laptop to the next. Don't go from one form of social media or emails to going home and getting right back on it. Get some exercise. Get out of your house. Breathe some fresh air like this guy's doing on top of this mountain. What are some other ways that you unplug? What are some other work-life balance activities? Is there anything that comes to mind that you do? I know I said music, maybe.
Maria, I recently, over the holidays, I took on puzzling. I didn't know it was a thing, but my husband, for Christmas, he bought me the Van Gogh puzzle of that famous painting, the bridge scene.
Oh, okay.
And I noticed how easily I can turn that into something to stress over.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in quiet time in one of my unused bedrooms, and I have it set out on a card table, and it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. And I keep saying to myself, I have these conversations that say, I can do this. I can do, even though it really looks impossible. I feel like I've gone through 895 pieces and none of them are a match. But I just have to talk my way through it and not allow myself to be defeated by a puzzle.
Yeah.
Not allow this fun,
Yeah.
relaxing activity to become a stress.
Exactly.
So I'm just very present to the degree to which I am in charge of the things I choose to allow myself to be stressed by, and those that I choose to enjoy. And so it's a constant choice. Anyway.
My daughter puzzles too, and she does probably two a week, 1,000 pieces, 2,000 pieces. She loves them. But when I used to do them with her, but I too got like you, where I wouldn't go to bed until I got this certain section done, or I'd be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work on the puzzle because I couldn't stand that it wasn't done. I would set these. So yeah, you have to be sure. You have to make sure that your relaxing hobbies don't turn into another
addiction.
Addiction. Yeah. Addiction is the word. So.
Yeah. Well, at this rate, and you're right, I do have to break away from it. I feel like I won't get done with this puzzle till 2025. But I notice how I measure it. Like now, what you just said about your daughter, she does 2 or 3 a week. Yeah. I have to like just hear that and not go home and say to myself, oh, I must be stupid. Oh, I must be inept. I only get, if I get 1 piece a day.
Well, you have to consider all the context. She's home all day. She's not doing anything other than puzzles right now. She just started a new job this week, so I'm sure the puzzles will not be done twice a week anymore. So, she's not working a full-time job and cooking dinner for her family every night either. So there's the difference.
I tried to do it, and especially over COVID when we were at home. Yeah. And it got to the point where it just annoyed me that it was always there. Like I would try to get a little bit done, but it was just always there and always unfinished. And so I just finally had to give up and put it away. It's just not, unfortunately, it's not the thing for me. I wanted it to be the thing for me, but it's not. I unfortunately have now taken to binge watching things that my friends suggest, but I really enjoy it. I like that escape, like that. Yeah. The time that you get all wrapped up in somebody else's life or in some other scenario by watching something that's like a series. And I love that now you can do it without the commercials and, do a whole season over, maybe a week or 2 weeks and just really enjoy it and not have to deal with the waiting and all of that. So.
And especially when it's a way for you to connect, with either other family members or friends and connect and bond with them over what you're watching. So that's when I think it's a little bit of it's a good thing. So. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation today. We will be back again for another presentation in the upcoming weeks. And until then, everybody have a great afternoon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Very nice presentation for you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.